Hi. Thanks so much for coming to this conference and for attending and listening to what I have to say and what all of my fellow speakers have to say. It's really, I feel honored that you have taken this time out of your day and out of your busy lives to attend this conference and to really tune in and not only hear, but hopefully act on some of the things that we all have to say today. So how I started and kind of what brings me here is I just graduated high school. I got my Ontario Secondary School diploma, and you may think that I went through high school like most teens would, but I did it a bit differently. So I went to school and I did it kind of a hybrid, flexible model that luckily, I feel so lucky that my school allowed me to come a few days a week, come for only a few classes, and really make school fit my life and really fit what I thought my learning path is and would be, instead of me having to kind of fit their model of school that was already in place. And I'm asking myself the question is, why am I what makes me lucky, and why can't other students and every student have the opportunity to really have school be something that, one, they enjoy, and two, they can actually really learn from. It can really be a beneficial experience where we use the amazing mentors that are at the school and the amazing facilities so that we can really move forward in education in preparing students for the future that we're so unsure about. Because if people, I believe, are helping and leading their own path, then they're going to get to a destination that's closer to where they want to be. So with my school, I want to thank them for cooperating and allowing me to do the flexible model. And I also want to send a challenge out to all the other schools for, if a student comes to you and wants to do school a bit differently, why don't we give them the opportunity and allow them to try? Because at the end of the day, if we're not given the opportunity to try our own thing, think about how many amazing products and services that we have today that wouldn't even be in existence. So my journey started in kindergarten when I first entered the educational realm. And before then, for sure, I was learning, but this is more traditional education starting in kindergarten. And I went through for a little while, and I kind of did it a bit differently at more of an alternative school, but still a public school. And then I decided, you want to know what? With the consultation with my parents, in grade 1, it wasn't really fitting me. So I went to homeschooling and unschooling. So I was homeschooled and unschooled, I would say for life, but in actuality and for concrete dates, I was homeschooled from about grade 1 to grade 8, where I tried out school a bit more just to see if I liked it. And then after a few months in grade 8, I decided that unschooling was a better fit for me. And then grade 9, I decided I'm going to try public school again. So I went into my public school and I took off 1 day a week to still do some homeschooling courses, but I was there 4 days a week taking 4 courses and really working there. Really, I was attending every day and I was doing like any other student would. But after that semester, I thought to myself, I'm really not having time to do all the volunteer things and all the extracurriculars that I'm kind of used to and all the community engagement and involvement. And I really wasn't feeling that school was the perfect fit for me based on how much time I felt was spent on things that didn't really matter to me and the direction I was going. So I decided I'm just going to go back to homeschooling. I'm going to do a few courses online, and then maybe in the future I'll try out school again, but for now, I'm done. And my school brought me in with administrators and the school social worker, and I have to thank them all so much for this. They said, how can we make school work for you? What do you want, and how can we make our facilities and our system fit you better? And that single question opened so many doors. It really kind of unleashed the dam and the waterfall of what all could happen for me in my education journey, because I knew that usually the school is not involved. In the past, some schools, they don't feel comfortable sharing the resources that they have, or for other financing reasons they're not able to. But my school, which was a public school and which still is a public school, allowed me to do it more flexibly. So they allowed me to go there a few days a week, enough to stay enrolled in the courses and stay engaged, and I worked out with my teachers, which I thought gave me so much more responsibility and more ownership over my learning, because I controlled what days I was going to be there. So when I was there, I was fully engaged. And the days that I wasn't there and I was working remotely, I was working from home, or I was working on other courses, I was able to manage my time so I could still stay on track, but still live my life outside of school. And I think that this is an opportunity that I feel so lucky and so kind of blessed to have been able to have throughout my schooling experience in the last 4 years. And I feel like more students can benefit from the support that we can give them. Because though my school allowed me to do this and my parents were on board, there are a lot of other factors they're really hard to deal with when you're new to alternative education and when you're trying to still be in the school system but still have your own little thing going on. So I think that it's so important that we have organizations and individuals that can help and support our students, and that we have schools be open and able to help our students. Because at the end of the day, if the school is trying to get the children to fit into the school's mold, it's not going to work as well as if you have a bunch of engaged, empowered, and imaginative students, and the school is helping them to solve the problems that we're going to have in the future. Because if we keep solving problems with the same thinking we have today, we're not going to get new solutions. But if we have brand new thinkers that we're able to empower, then they'll be able to, and hopefully I'll be on board with in one of these amazing ideas, I'll be able to help with my kind of unique perspective and help us lift ourselves and our whole society out of some of the crazy issues that we're facing, like extreme climate crisis and racism and Indigenous rights, and really helping people empower each other so we can be individuals and have a whole society that is built more around consenting and more around really driving and fueling our passions and really going for what we want to achieve. So I think that having this platform to share kind of a bit of my journey and to hear all the other amazing speakers, I think it's just, I want to say thank you so much to the organizers for putting this together and for allowing me my little chunk of time to share what I have to say. And I really hope that everyone listening, whoever's in your life, if they're people that are older adults, if they're children, if they're teenagers, you're able to empower them and yourself to take control of your life and take control of your learning. And it's not going to be easy. And I don't mean that to scare people off or to make it seem like, wow, it's going to be so hard. But I have to say it is worth it. Some days may feel hard, some days may feel easy, but definitely when you're blazing a new path, it takes more energy and time and motivation to keep yourself going. But I think that we all have that. And I think that sometimes you may need to just a process that in unschooling we call deschooling, and kind of let some of the pressures, external pressures, roll off of you and kind of get out of your system so that you can use your own motivation to really get you where you want to be. And not saying that you know where you want to be, or that every single child knows where they want to be, or every single senior or adult or teenager, but if you are acting from where, like, kind of what your next right move may be, then you're going to eventually make all those tiny steps in the direction you want to go, instead of taking larger steps in a direction that you don't even care about. So sometimes taking the smaller steps can get us exactly where we need and want to be. So I want to thank you guys so much for listening. I want to thank everybody for, again, taking the time out of their day, listening to me. If you have any questions, please reach out and contact me or ask me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions about my journey or about any of the other realms that I have some knowledge of. Thank you so much.